19th की 21st. Have you all opened up to the 19th shloka of 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita? यस्य सर्वे समारंभाः कामसंकल्पवर्जिताः ज्ञानाग्निदग्धकर्माणम् तमाहुः पंडितं बुधाः. So this is the definition of a pandita. The root word comes from the word panda. Anybody from West Bengal or Orissa? Nobody. So whatever I say is the fact. In West Bengal and Orissa, the priests are called panda. Even in Bodh Gaya, they are called panda. And it is from that the last name Pandey also comes into picture. Mangal Pandey? Pandey. So Panda actually means the one who is well versed with all sciences and wisdom and practically apply it in their day-to-day life. बीच में इतना लंबा बैठेगा तो So Panda means the one who is a profound scholar, has the wisdom and applies it in day-to-day life. So this is another definition of Panda. Who is a Panda? Who is a Jnani? Who is a Pandita? Not just because somebody has a title. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Don't become a Pandit because you are having the title. It needs to be in definition as in the Vyakarana or in Bhagavad Gita. So this is a very beautiful definition of a Pandita. Kama Sankalpa Varjitaha. They are devoid of Kama and Sankalpa. Now what is a Sankalpa? Sankalpa. One way to say it is determination. थोड़ा सा डेसिबल लेवल बढ़ाना पड़ेगा. Both put together is sankalpa. That is why before performing the puja, there are prerequisites in a puja. So the first and foremost prerequisite that it starts with is even before doing the Ganesha puja, there is the sankalpa, wherein the priest asks you to hold the flower and akshata in your right hand, place it in your left hand, put it on your right thigh. Remember? Sometimes at least you do a puja, right? You remember. And then he asks us to chant Mama, and we all repeat Mama, and then he just zooms off with some rattling Sanskrit words. Mamopata samasta duritakshay dvara Shri Parameshwara Prityartham Asmin Amuk Kshetre Amuk Tirthe, whatever. But then they have also become very intelligent. Of that sankalpa, they'll pause at a place, a very crucial place, and ask you to repeat after you. Repeat after them. Where is the crucial spot? They just want to inform you that, bhaiya, this puja that is being performed, what is the purpose of it? Dhana, vastu, vahana, kanaka, repeat. So you also say, acha, dhana, vastu, vahana, kanaka, sakala aishwarya, ashtaishwarya, sarva manokamya phala siddhyartam, ज्ञान भक्ति वैराग्य सिद्ध्यर्थम, आयु आरोग्य अभिवृद्ध्यर्थम च. Right? So why are we performing this puja? For all these purposes. So are you clear? If you are clear, then my check will also be cleared. He is trying to enlighten you with the purpose of the puja so that his purpose of getting that puja done is cleared. So sankalpa means a goal and a set determination taken to fulfill that or reach that, accomplish that goal is a sankalpa. Kama, all the desires. Now, wherever there is sankalpa and there is kama, the actions performed by the individual tend to have a hidden agenda inside. And Upanishads very clearly, very bluntly state, Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati bho shveta keto. Shveta ketu is being addressed here, one of the very pride of Sanatana Dharma, Shveta Ketu, a brilliant kid. He is being given the great Vedantic knowledge by his own father. Until then he was very arrogant too. And then his father puts him through some tests. And this is the few conclusions that he is giving to his son. And one of the conclusions that he puts forth the entire efforts put in materialistic world, he says, Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. A loose translation of that into English would mean, we tend to love those things which fall in alignment with our liking. And that which is not in alignment with our liking, we are not attached, there is no love. As long as it is in alignment with our liking is when we have attachment and love. There's all relationships, whether it is between wife and husband, husband and wife, parents and children, children and parents. For example, when the kid is born, don't we call the sweet bundle of joy? Something happens when this sweet bundle of joy gains double digit. Does not seem to care for organized living, doesn't stay with disciplined living, doesn't listen to your instruction, in fact questions and argues with your instructions, questions your authority. Familiar? Yeah, growing pain. You get used to it. It never changes. Something happens with the trickling of that hormones, that bundle of joy has now become a bundle of worry or pain. Doesn't it? Swamiji, what to tell you? I'm getting frustrated with my kids. See, when you give some instructions to the kids and they don't listen to those instructions and finally you really scream at them and it seems to have 2-3 days of influence on them. They are still in elementary school. Am I going on the right track? At least when we were growing up, that was the case. And when you have that impact for a day, middle school, When it seems to have an impact right then, but there is no uh, response in their actions, then you are addressing the high schoolers. Is it still the same pattern? Or the pattern has changed? When do they retard back? When do they keep arguing and or niche? Okay, when do they start replying back and oh, that is high schoolers. They don't even respond back. Whatever. First they stare at you. Duh, do you think I'm going to listen to you? And the stare becomes a glare. Why even bother? That's the high school. I'm talking, when does it start all that? Middle school or elementary? Yo. My heartfelt sympathies for all of you. Good job, Sarvesh. I'm so glad missed it. Elementary. Yo. As long as they were in alignment with our liking, there was a lot of fondness and other things. The moment that alignment is shaken up, all restlessness, frustration, irritation begins. Now you can apply this to any relationship. One of the common dialogues between husband and wife who have been married for more than 10 years. You have changed. Then you are not like this. Is it a familiar dialogue? Don't look at me like that. You're almost questioning, how in heaven do you know that? As I say, when America can hear what is Germany's, what is her name? Yeah, Marco. When she speaks and America can hear, you speak with each other and I cannot hear. मेरे जासूस चारों तरफ फैले हुए हैं. It's one of the common things all across. Back then it had to be an impressive period wherein you had to impress each other. Even if there was something that you were not impressed about, you sucked up and then you just put on a smile and say, oh, it is so good. Remember the first meal prepared? Burnt roti or the over salted or under spiced or over spiced, and you just kept quite eating. Ati sundar. At that time you were in a poetic phase. A poetic phase wherein it only in Hindi dialogues this come in. तुम्हारे गुस्से में भी क्या खूबसूरत दिखते हो. Hi. That was the phase. That even in your anger, you look so pretty. So that was the phase wherein it was, as you put it, Chandramukhi. Now, the same mukha, it appears like Jwalamukhi. I didn't say it, he said it. भैया इरादा तो नेक था. I did not intend poking fun at others' pain. But what to do while saying it, I could not maintain straight face. I had to burst out with laughter. वैसे आपकी धर्मपत्नी बगल में ही बैठी हुई है ना? नारायण नारायण. हाँ, आज का मेरा काम पूरा हो गया. I am now I can have a good sleep at night. Whether it is between the spouse or parents and children or any other friends and relationship, the hidden agenda always is Atma Sukha. Whenever there is that Atma Sukha and everything else is aligned to that Atma Sukha, that hidden agenda is constantly being fulfilled, then all our liking and love and attachment is at a very rock solid base. The moment that alignment gets disturbed, our alignment is, the base alignment is rocked. It is shaken up. Kama Sankalpa. Therefore, this Pandita, the wise one, is the one who has removed that hidden agenda. Kama and Sankalpa are given up. Kama Sankalpa Varjitaha. Jnana Agni Dagdha Karmanam. In the clarity of the fire of this wisdom, when they perform the action, there is absolutely no pressure or tension that they exist in. They are at peace with themselves wherever they are performing whatever they are performing. Let me bring this whole shloka with an example so that it is more tangible and applicable. Other than me, is there anybody in this hall who is not a parent? Everybody is. So usually, when it comes with the children, whenever we give them these constant instructions so that they can be more organized, more disciplined, more productive, more timely, more integrated, more honest, and we keep giving them instructions, what is the most frustrating aspect of giving that instruction? One common dialogue that you hear between parents and children: how many times do I need to tell you this? Tell me, look at me. When I'm speaking to you, look at me. How many times have I told you this? Haven't I? That is the most frustrating. How many of you repeat this dialogue? The reason I am asking for a hand count is that you feel comfortable that you are not just the isolated case. It's a common story all across the board. Why that irritation? Because you seem to be giving the same instruction again and again and again, and there seems to be absolutely no impact. They're back to the square one. It's like the last step of puja vidhi. Yatha sthanam pratisthapayami kshemaya punaragamanaya cha. You leave the room, I go back to my original state without any impact or change. See, those of us who have grown up in India versus those of us who have grown up here, the difference is that very young, you would start taking decisions which impact your life. Small, big, various kinds. For example, how many of you had to take a public transport system for your schools? How young without an escort? I started doing it from the kindergarten. तभी तो. You just stole my words, man. Go repeat it all back. See, by the time I was in kindergarten, I had to go all the way to the bus stop, wait for the public transport, get into the queueless lines. Literally, there was no queue. They jump in and somehow get inside. Strategically place yourself, especially when I was in Bombay, taking the trains. Pretty soon I understood, because by the second day I was pushed out of the train, not while it was moving. While it was stopped, I was pushed out of the train, and it was not my stop to get out. And then I realized that I was standing in the wrong spot. I'm pretty intelligent. I got on to it that for getting in, effortlessly stand in that spot wherein the crowd will carry you in. And when you have to get out, get at that strategic spot when the crowd will pull you out. They're very safe out. And you're dropped. It's like with a forklift. You will be taken in and taken out. When I was in Bombay studying, I was probably in my 6th grade. And 6th grade, I had to catch two buses and one train to go to the school. So get off the bus, get onto the train, and then get off the train, get another bus, and get to the school. And every monsoon season, there would be so much rain that the roads would be flooding, that the buses would not move, the cars would not move, the trains would be stopped. At that point, when you are stuck somewhere in the middle of nowhere, you have to start finding, you have to trust people. You have to create those alliances. Then, you find a method to reach home. And in those days, there were no cell phones. In our entire building, there was only one phone, and everybody used it lavishly. And poor fellows, those who owned it, would go up and down, run up and down. Aapke liye phone aaya hai. There's a phone for you. And we would not have even the luxury of communicating through the phone. I think my parents were probably with a stronger heart, that oh, they must have been delayed, they'll come. They had some faith. So when you are on your own, when you are trying to decide, and there are a lot of decision making processes, your value system is being tested. Now when you come here, and that is another reason why, those who have grown up in India, throw them anywhere in the world. They'll not just survive, they'll thrive. Aren't we proof enough here? Is there any other continent other than Arctic and Antarctic where Indians are not there? What do you expect? Even in Antarctica? I don't know. हो सकता है इसीलिए. We have Indians in almost every continent. We thrive. Wherever we are in an affluent community, thriving everywhere. Why? Because the testing period was cushioned with such long period of the schooling and college, and you have to make so many decisions, small, big, that your value system and the rooting into those value system started pretty young. Now what happens here? They say that you cannot leave your child alone home until they are 12 years of age. Though there is a series of movies, Home Alone, 1, 2, 3. So until 12, you cannot even leave them alone. Until 15 or 16, 15, you have to chauffeur them to everything and anything. Monday, what do you take them to? Other than school? Come on. Taekwondo. Tuesday, Kumon. Wednesday, music. Thursday, हो गया Kumon. Dance. Okay. Thursday, dance. Friday, birthday party. Some kind of party. TGIF. I'm not even going into those intricate details. So dance, then you have to have the Indian classical dance, Kathakali, Kuchipudi, Bharatanatyam, Kathak, and tango, ballet. I don't know. Hey, come on, give me a break. Bollywood is not a dance. Give me a break. Running around the trees is not called dance, for God's sake. That is called jogging. Running around the trees? And then music, this side harmonium, that side piano. Flute, violin. This math classes, Kumon, Chinese math. I don't know. Okay, eye level? Eye level. And by the time they come out of that class, they're eye level with you. It's constantly shuffled, constantly monitored. There's hardly any reason for them to apply their own decision-making process. It's a pre-cut module, and they go through from one module to the other until they are 16, 17. By the time they are out and get into the college, that is where I deal with maximum number of my interactions are with that age group. The first semester or first 1 year, everything goes topside, I mean upside down. Their 4.0 GPA gets down to 2, barely passing through. B plus, C sometimes. Sometimes they have dropped out of some courses. And they're brilliant kids. What has happened suddenly? Because suddenly they realize, they have freedom. And most of the kids, when they apply for colleges, where do they apply? Not outside the county. Bottom line is 800 miles minimum away from home. Bhala chute. Enough of this. I want my freedom. What do they mean, I want my freedom? What are they asking for? No, away from parents is a given. But why do they want it? To make their own decisions, freedom in deciding the course of their own life. And then after that first 6 months is when they realize, first time when they come back home, yearning for home cooked meal, which for 17 years was neglected, taken for granted. Mom, cook me something nice. I'm bored of eating that pasta daily. And then they realize, the realization that happens is that that freedom comes at a cost called responsibility. And they have a very small window of turning around. A 6-month period to root yourself with this value system and testing it out is a very small window. And in that they have to turn around and find a firm footing. Now you have this Jnana Agni. You have this knowledge. Now, with this kind of knowledge, how do you handle children when they are not listening to you? Because the result of this frustration is many parents, they say, I have given up. Whatever you want to do, to dot 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 with you. I'm not saying anything. I'm leaving it to your imagination. I can only take you so much. If you can't, you'll be good for nothing. You will not be even qualified to flip burgers. Common dialogues. And we give up on them. For their strength to turn around in that 6 months when they go out, all the instructions and every direction that you give now, which they don't pay attention to, when do they realize all that? And its application of it, oh, this is exactly what probably my mom was telling me about. This is probably what my dad was telling about. And this is the time now I have to apply these things. So should you give up on them? Now, what is the art? Art is to give them your peace of mind without getting yourself in a mold of expecting the change immediately. Once you have understood that, are you not released from the heaviness or the burden of parenting? Jnanagni, dagda karmanam, the impact of that karma that you are performing, you don't feel burdened by it. I'm just taking one sample in life. Who is a Pandita? Pandita is the one who applies this wisdom in every walk of their life and stays stress-free, stays without any agitation within, stays peaceful within. Does that make sense? The next shloka continues. What happens once you reach to that stage? It says, Tyaktva karma phala sangam nitya tripto nirashrayah karmanyabhipravrittopi naiva kinchit karoti saha. Tyaktva karma phala sangam. Thus, having removed the poisonous influence of the expectations that we build in every interaction. Now again, I have already spoken about expectations earlier. But what kind of expectations? There are two kinds of expectations. When you come to this class, I have certain expectations from you too, don't I? What are the couple of simple expectations that I have? Be on time. Turn your any noise making instrument off. Bring Bhagavad Gita book. Now, I am not setting up myself for that kind of Please sleep, don't snore. I don't mind you having at least an environment wherein you can have a peaceful sleep. Don't snore. I feel like throwing something at you. देखो मैंने आपसे शादी नहीं की है. So I don't need to carry that baggage. मैं ही ऐसा बोल सकता हूँ. चलो हद कर दिया है तुम लोगों ने. I have also a couple of expectations. And here it says, tyaktva karma phala sangam, giving up all the expectations. Now, should I be giving up all these expectations? Now, expectations can be put into two categories: sattvic and something which is productive expectation, and something which is unproductive expectation. The productive expectation is when we expect good and something to mold them for a higher state of existence for their own good. I'm taking the same example as a parent versus kids. So getting them into a discipline mold is a good expectation, productive expectation. Getting them into an organized mindset is a productive expectation. But there also sometimes we end up doing certain flaws. Is we cannot refrain ourselves from comparative analysis between the siblings. And the brunt of it is almost I would say, how many of you are the older sibling? All of you are the victims. Why? The immediate comparison is, look at your younger fellow. He is doing better than you. Shame on you. होता है? कभी मेरे छोटे को कभी नहीं मिला यार. That is another comparison. If the siblings are, boy and a girl, and the comparison given is, even your sister is able to do it. We are creating a mindset unconsciously that as if girls were not supposed to do, they are not good for anything. Even they are doing it, what happened to you? It is a wrong comparison. Comparing it with friends, comparing it with cousins, and saying you're good for nothing again. Oh, they also do. Oh, yes, I remember that. I can be put in that category. Constant comparison, it only leads to an animosity or a platform of jealousy and unhealthy competition. Instead, what should the comparison be? One comparison is to a higher standard of ideal. Supposing you want to go pro in basketball. What should be the comparison to? Who is a legend in basketball? Jordan? Seriously? Larry Bird, okay. Shaq O'Neal? Was there a Magic Johnson too? I'm talking of game, Baba. So whoever it is, no, there is a cricket. Who will be the ideal? Don Bradman. There's something of our generation. Tendulkar. So when you compare to somebody, there is no platform of jealousy created. There is only a platform of inspiration created. Now, until some point, but then what has it to be supported with? It has to be supported with, it has to be supported with the next phase of comparison is constantly striving to beat your own earlier best. That is what it has to be compared to, finally. Like if you are waking up early in the morning at 8 o'clock, break it by waking up at 7:59. You get the point, right? Breaking your own earlier best. And that way you constantly are inspired, self-motivated to do better than what you have been doing. There's a constant phase. And perfection is not a destination, it is journey. And that journey which is constantly under repair. It's not something that is like, perfected road. It's constantly repaired, constantly needs improvement. That should be the expectation set. Now, what are the expectations that are unhealthy expectations? When we want them to mold themselves so that I can extend my own ego through them and their achievements for my gratification. That trophy mentality, that display mentality of ours, that expectation is unhealthy, which has to be removed. Tyaktva karma phala sangam. Removing the unhealthy aspect of expectations, what do you get? Nitya truptaha. You are constantly peaceful, satisfied within. And you soon realize that the sense of joy within is not something which is a dependable variable on others. And the Upanishad says, Paratantram sarva dukkhasya karanam. Swatantram sarva sukhasya karanam. Paratantram, depending, as long as we depend on others, we will constantly be miserable. Don't look at your spouse and say, have you heard what Swamiji said? Don't complain going back home. If you are miserable, it is because of your depending mentality. You change. No, hold on, because the next sentence is even more important. What is Swatantram? The ability to not depend on others, but yet be there to provide for others. That is called a true Swatantrata. Such one finds joy within. Nityatruptaha nirashrayaha. Another aspect of Nityatrupta is the difference between somebody who has constant experience of expectations not being fulfilled, is constantly agitated and frustrated, versus the one who has reached to this point of gratified existence. What happens when the experiences unfold? The same kind of experiences to two different mindsets. For the one who is gratified and has that sense of peace within, looks at that experience as a challenge and smiles at, because he can see the solution for it. But for the one who is constantly agitated, cannot even gauge what that experience is unfolding into, cannot point finger at as to what the solution is. And before even the entire experience unfolds, they are already in a mold of playing a victim. Why does this happen to me? 3 stages there. Why me? Why me always? Why me always only? The third one is a very sadistic stage. And from there, the next layer of deterioration, nobody loves me. Nobody cares for me. Everybody takes me for granted. I am treated as if I am like a doormat. And from there, the next layer of deterioration. How long should I be tolerating this? Am I taking you across step by step? In that intolerant level, you suddenly come to a Bhagavad Gita class. Nitya Truptaha. Be satisfied with where you are. You feel like throwing something at that speaker. How can you be satisfied when you are already feeling so low and frustrating? Don't get the message wrong. That we have gone to that intolerant level and we are expecting TLC, we don't get it. We feel used, abused, misused, even before any experience happens. My family life is not satisfactory, my job, professional life is not satisfactory, my friendship is not, everything sucks. Have you taken your children to the dentist? They give them a lollipop. Do you know what that lollipop is called? Do you know why it is called a sucker? If life sucks, you are the sucker on the other end. Because we have allowed ourselves to deteriorate from phase to phase to phase. Many times when I sit for the counseling, various levels of counseling, the first thing that starts up is such a dirt digging against each other. He said, she said, he said, she said, he said, she said. Sometimes I allow it for half an hour or something so that they vent it out. And then you pretty soon realize that once you hit that victim phase, you get addicted to that victim phase. Because it is easily gratifying when somebody, some environment, gives you that TLC, you feel gratified. As soon as that environment understands that the problem is you and you have to change, you change the environment, you change the people, you change the friends, you change everybody and try to find a newer environment. Such people's life can be there. If a movie made, the title of the movie should be, you know what I would title it as? Kaho na pyar hai. Constantly begging for attention and TLC. The first time I saw that on a billboard in India, I stopped and I was on a vehicle. I stopped aside and laughed really loud. As a madman. What kind of a beggar demanding it? The love should be given, not be, wanting it. But you should have such wherein you give. The moment I talk about giving, Swamiji, how long should we tolerate in giving and giving and giving? 20 years of married life and I'm only giving. You see where the flaw is? It starts from the basic root cause is being karma phala sangam, that expectation. Tyaktva nitya truptaha. You would be at peace. And you would find the fountain of joy within, independent of anyone. Such one can become a strong support in any environment. Nirashrayaha. The one who does not personally expect anything from anybody can alone be the giver who can support anybody in the environment. Because there is nothing to lose. Nitya truptaha nirashrayaha. Such one, karmani abhipravrittaha api. Though they are constantly in different kinds of actions, different kinds of karma involved in, they are not burnt by their own life responsibilities and duties. Does it logically make sense? Is it practically usable to identify where you are and how to pull yourself up to the next step? Yes, no, all right. कुछ जोर से बोलो ना. No, I still have 5 minutes. Any questions? Say that again. You much more.
They have more independence, their values are much more stronger because they have a balance of capabilities versus thriving in the environment. But kids who grow up here actually don't have any exposure to that. What is the solution for that?
How do you empower? Don't be hovering parents. Excuse me. Take them, drop them, and move out. You don't need to be there hovering. Do this, do that. No, let them do it. And the best thing is, allow them, teach them through their own failures and falling. No, they do. Instead, what we do is we pitch in and try to correct it for them instead, while they are still with you when they fall. Instead of you trying to resurrect them, give them the tools to pull themselves up rather than feel shattered. That is called true empowering. I have seen parents who go to the school district, the schools that they are studying in, fight with the teachers for their grades and get them back to that grade. Girne do. Allow them to make mistakes. Don't keep them so confined. It's okay to make a mistake. There was this mother and she was getting very tensed and Swamiji, I need to speak with you. I said, what happened? 15, my son is getting his driver's license. I'm really scared in these roads in today's, he's still so young. How do I allow driving? I said, would you be comfortable to know that he is driving somewhere in the college when he moves out and some accident happens then because you did not allow him to learn now? Or would you want them to learn now through various mistakes here so that they don't end up making mistakes there when they have nobody else to guide? Which is preferable? I would still suggest here and now. But instead of allowing them make mistakes, we try to be overprotective. That is what hovering means. Become overprotective. Chill. Let them fall. And when they fall, don't rub it into them. Did I not tell you this? Instead, teach them how to resurrect themselves back into a functional mode. That way, they'll be more adept to the challenges when they are out. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.